how do I go about doing that? And a lot of schools allow students to walk on and try out for their teams. Not every school. So it's important, if there's an interest, if you didn't get recruited, but you're interested in playing, before you ever get to the school, contact the coach, find out if there is an opportunity to try out, and get on a team, and then go through all the steps. If you're going to try out for a team, remember, you're not recruited, you're not somebody that the coach is looking at right off the bat. You have to take care of everything and be very responsible if it's going to work out for you. But you want to contact them before you get there and find out what are the procedures. You can talk to the coach and talk to them and find out. If you go onto the school's website, they're going to have email addresses or phone numbers to contact the coach. A lot of times, you know, you can start with the head coach, but the head coaches have got a lot going on. They're not always going to get to you as easily, sometimes even contacting an assistant coach. You can go to a campus and visit them. There are time frames where they were called dead periods where coaches can't talk to you. I had that happen a couple weeks ago where a baseball player came in and said, I can't talk to you, the coach can't talk to you, I'm sorry about that. You can send it to me, I'll call you, but right now it's what's called a dead period. Those periods aren't a real long time, but there are things like that. But if you're interested in trying out for a sport, find out if your school has those opportunities available. A lot of schools do, there are a few that maybe don't, but that's how to get your foot in the door. But you want to get that going early so that you know what to do. Practices normally start, depending on the sport, they can start a month before school begins. If you're a football player, a soccer player, a volleyball player, a cross-country athlete, those will start a lot of times in early August, where school may not start until sometime in September. So you want to find out all that information. You're welcome to contact coaches. You can call them, you can email them, you can go visit the campus. But those are things that you want to kind of get an idea about what your opportunities are. So I just want to kind of bring that up because I know that question, I get that question in the past. Well, what happens if I don't get recruited? Am I out of luck? No, you're not out of luck. You need to take responsibility and got some hoops that you come through to find out what your opportunities are.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So let's say you become a college athlete and you start out at the D3 level and you're hoping to still have that hope to play D1. What does that look like in terms of, or you go to NAIA to begin with and you're still hoping that there's a chance that if you work really hard, you can find your way to Division I NCAA sports. What does waiting periods look like and sitting out periods look like and all that kind of stuff?
Well, what happens is once somebody's at another four-year school, our coaches can't contact them because there are restrictions about trying to steal players from other schools. So that student would have to get a release from the school they're in to be able to talk to another four-year school. So it's like we have to ask permission to be able to talk to a student. So a student like that contacts us. If we can't talk to you, talk to your school, get permission to contact us. Certainly we get transfers a lot of times, both either coming down from one of the big time schools or coming up from some lower schools, but the students have to kind of initiate that, can we talk to you or not. That's different than in community college. In the community college, the coaches can talk to you. The only time they can't is if you aren't a qualifier by the clearinghouse and you're in community college during the first year you're there, coaches cannot talk to you in person. They can have correspondence over the phone and things like that. But
you bring up community college, do you still have to go through the clearinghouse to transition from community college to an NCAA school?
You have to get certified on the amateurism portion, and you have to send your academic records. But if you're not qualified, there are rules about having to get an AA degree and complete so many units and have a 2.5 GPA is the new GPA rule for community college transfers. But we get a fair amount of transfers.
The goal is to be a qualifier. The NCAA rules to transfer from a 2-year institution to a 4-year institution. If you are not certified by the NCAA or if you are not qualified, it's very intense. The requirements, something broke.
It wasn't broke.
No worries. It's happening. But the NCAA rules for transfer are much harder if you are a non-qualifier. Transferring isn't as easy and you can only transfer one time, and it can get really sticky. So you want to make sure you talk with your compliance staff at your institution.
And if you're